answers.
Okay. Hey, where's Doc?
Duck?
It's almost 8 o'clock in the morning on August 18th, and just had a nice day off with my niece Michaela. Thank you, Michaela. She gave me a ride up here. She's very busy right now because she's got medical school applications going on. So I hope that works out great. I'm sure it will. Yeah, so I'm basically just doing my last 4 days in Washington here. 72 miles to Stevens Pass, and there's not much point going past Stevens Pass because the trail's closed 20 miles south of Stehekin for fires up there. The border's going to be closed again this year. So yeah, so I'm going to do these last 4 days, go to Ashland and regroup, and that might be done for the year, who knows. A little bit worried about Carroll right now. There's a fire burning south of Ashland where we live, and smoke is really bad now. Carol's words were that if there was a fire 3 blocks away, given all the smoke in town now, she might not even notice. So yeah, I mean, you know, it's an extraordinary year for snow in Oregon, especially California. Not so much in Washington, but you know, that doesn't mean the drought's breaking. We're in a major drought. It's likely going to be decades that we've caused. And that's the way it is. So we have to take steps to try and reduce our carbon dioxide output. That's the reality for this foreseeable future, unfortunately. Anyway, it's a cool morning today. It's nice. So the heat wave is broken. I got a long ascent to do, so I won't be able to talk very much longer here. Apparently some really pretty, if rugged, territory coming up. So I got a new lens for the GoPro, nicer, swankier lens. That's what I could get after I scratched my, that's basically just a lens cover. So we'll see how that works out, and I'll use it to show you some nice things. here, peeking up over the cliffs over there. Just had lunch in this spot and ready to take off. It took me to go the first 7 miles today. It took me about 3.5 hours. It's mostly uphill, but it sure is pretty up here. So let's see, my friends, the hiking family, are headed down to Redding, where my brother's going to give them a ride from the airport and to the trailhead. Thanks, Dave. I don't know where the Czech Republic are, so it's kind of lonely out here today, honestly. I'm kind of feeling like I'm ready to be done. 4 days seems long, but it'll pass. It always does. So, and it is very pretty here. So I'm going to try to go another, I guess stretch goal will be 14 today. Kind of just put some miles in the bank so that I can again have a short 4th day into Stevens Pass. Low stress 4th day. Yeah. But I'll see. It's it's up and down. The trail is much more rocky, chossy sometimes, so it does slow you down. So we'll see. Got a couple people in front of me now. Alright. Yeah, it's kind of the character of the trail now. Alright. So much of the trail in this region is steep uphill, or this just real chossy surface. So it just really slows you down. I'm not sure I'll get 15 miles today. It's just it just slows your speed down. There's been very little sort of nice tread surface to walk on. It's all this stuff that rolls around as you step on it. Keep on. in the morning, leaving camp. Oh, got a nice sunrise going there. I might run out of camera battery in a minute here. Forgot to change it last night and this morning, so I'll have to stop and do that. Let's see. So I got 17.1 miles yesterday. That was not too bad. That talus, or what I call choss, is that extended for 5-6 miles. Just really hard walking on that stuff. But I'm told by some southbound hikers, a couple sets actually, that that ends now. So that's nice to know. I think I can cover more ground today. My stretch plan is 24 miles, but there's some nice camping before that too. So, and should be more water today. In fact, I'm about to come up to I don't know, a mile or two to a big waterfall. Let's see. This 4-day portion of the journey, if I can make it in 4 days, is going to be one of problem solving. Let's see. Yesterday my camera mount broke, so it still clips into my shoulder here, but only with one side clipping in, so I have to watch that, especially with an expensive new lens on it. And then this morning, it looks like my fuel bottle is way more empty than I thought it was. So I'm gonna have to game that out a bit. I'm going to probably not have a hot breakfast for the next 2 days and just focus on having enough to have a hot dinner, given that I have freeze-dried food. I mean, I can always cold soak that. It takes longer, but it doesn't go down as well, but it's food. And I kind of packed an uncommon amount of snack food, so I think I'll have enough food. Just a bummer to have overestimated how much fuel I had. So, just because it was cold this morning, who knows? It was a cold night. Not freezing, but fairly cold. This trail has about 100 switchbacks going down. It's not 100. It's like 40 or something. Yeah, so that's the plan. Just got a big hill coming up in a few miles, about a 5-6 mile hill, and then the rest of the day should be reasonable cruise, except for, well, it's rocky and rooty, of course, and the camp I want to make is up a hill, so that should be all right. So if I get a 17 and a 24, what is that? 37, 41. So then that would put me well on the way to making Stevens Pass in 4 days. So yeah, got room to breathe. Getting 17 yesterday gave me room to breathe. All right, I'll show you the waterfall later.
7 a.m. Water, sock wash, beautiful waterfall. Ready to go. Let's get this hill. Switchbacks are funny. Some of these are more than a 180-degree turn. There's more of them down there. I'm trying this new lens on the shoulder mounted, even though it's a little tilted. The camera has better tilt correction. Amazing as that is with it like that. So I'm gonna give it a try for a little bit. Just passed a guy who came from Snoqualmie Pass, said the smoke wasn't too bad, but he started in Canada and a fire started kind of right where he was, and the firefighters pulled him off the trail and took him to Snoqualmie Pass. So yeah, north or southbound, you're not going any closer to the border on the PCT right now than Snoqualmie Pass. So that's all right. I'm ready. And this is pretty country. I mean, in a little bit of a burn right now, but it's popping back, and I see some little trees coming up, saplings here and there, and amongst the other bushes, berries. So yeah, just got to manage that fuel situation. I got plenty to eat though. Key thing is always is water. I mean, you definitely need calories out here, but you can survive without food for a while. That's not going to happen to me anyway. I got a lot of food. Knock wood. Sure is nice to. I know it's going to heat up today, so just this whole hike I've just treasured these early mornings. I get to see a lot. I don't see that many sunsets, honestly, but I see almost every sunrise. And you can see this low light. This lights all these leaves magically. I was told yesterday that this purple flower that I've been seeing all over the place is fireweed, which I'd heard before. I think I just forgot. I've heard people out here mistake it for poodle dog bush, which grows down in the desert after fires. Nasty irritant, but that's not what this is. In this morning light I was seeing, I don't know if it's visible over there, but there's these wisps of cloud that looks probably like smoke, fire smoke drifting southward, excuse me. So that's one concern is, I'm going to get halfway across this stretch today, and one potential thing that could happen is it could get really smoky, in which case I may not, hate to do it, but I'd could be forced to turn around and head back to Snoqualmie Pass. We'll see. Hopefully I can sneak in there and get a ride to Seattle before it turns any worse. Still just trying to complete the 50 or so switchbacks that come down from the high point I got yesterday. And then got a short traverse and then a big hill climb. So hopefully I can get that done while it's still mostly cool. And maybe have some shaded walking if I'm lucky. Who knows? Guy just passed coming south. Said there sure is some pretty country up here though, so that's good. Alright. This is what remains of the Lima River Bridge. I'm told that if I go downstream, yep, I see it, there's a log. Wasn't too bad. Hardest part might be getting up this bank. All right. So this is a beautiful view across this valley, but it's also a troubling one because I don't think that mist is fog. I think that's smoke from fires, so I have to be really careful here. I don't want to be walking through smoke for the next 2.5 days. Breathing it in, breathing hard. So on the other hand, I'm not too thrilled about turning around and going back to Snoqualmie Pass either. So get to the top of this hill, see what it looks like. I don't really smell it. Well, maybe I smell a little bit now, but I don't know. We'll see. Keep an eye on it. So there ought to be a really nice view across there, but it's just obscured by smoke from the fires in the north, I presume. So that's why my tentative plan now is to go have another 6 miles to the Waptis Lake turnoff. I'll probably camp there. Then I can walk out 9 miles in the morning to a campground called Salmon Losac campground, or trailhead anyway. I think there's a campground there too. And it'll be Sunday. Should be a number of people leaving for their weekend, and if I can get a ride into the nearby town of Leavenworth, or even up to Seattle or Stevens Pass, then I can get the rest of the way to my niece's house or somebody's house, and get this done, because I can smell this smoke now, and That means it's going into my lungs while I'm walking 20 miles on steep hills and breathing it in. So I want to try to cut that off as soon as I can. As long as I could get a ride. There won't be any cell service down there, as there isn't along here. So I'll just have to rely on traffic going by or parked in the parking lot. But I think that's what I'm going to do. Just to cut really a day and probably 12 to 14 hours of hiking off this trip in the smoke. Morning. It's just after 6 in the morning. Sunday, August. Not sure. So I just left my camp at Waptis Lake. It's a beautiful lake. I mean, this is really probably can't see too much through there, but it's been a nice place to stay, but it's just shrouded in forest fire smoke. And so I made the call yesterday rather than have 2 more days, 2 long days really, because it's taken me 12 hours to get 20 miles, or even close to 20 miles on this terrain. It's a very rocky chassis, a lot of climbing. Anyway, I decided to get out of the smoke. So I'm going down to the end of Waptis Lake where there's a trail, and I hope some signage, because I don't have a map of this particular area coming up. Anyway, did see a sign back a ways for the Salmon Lasac trailhead, which is about 9 miles down this trail, purportedly pretty flat. And then through some satellite texts last night, I arranged to ask Michaela to pick me up here. I felt really bad about that, but at least it's Sunday. There's some campers back there. Let's see. Last night I heard it sounded like a barn owl. Or 2 or more. Hooting, and also early this morning, and there was a couple birds like kind of like a big swift, white stripes on their wings, soaring through my camp this morning. That's cool. Walking through acres of thimbleberries and salmon berries. Looks like a bear's paradise in here. Yeah, so we'll see if we can get down to this campground. Well, there were signs for footbridges, but on my map this is the clearest way out to the trailhead. So this is a horse ford, and it's going to be a people ford for me. I want to walk out on that log to stay dry, but What point would it make? So, I'm a horse today. Fortunately, these shoes and socks walk dry pretty fast, so it'll be alright. It's a pretty river. Should probably get some water here too.